1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to a Two Giant Goofballs podcast, a New York Giants podcast. I am Rob. I am sorry Drew is not here, but it's a me. I'm Rob. You guys are stuck, and it's on Rob time. I apologize. Was already getting out breakfast with Santa this morning, and then he's also off to a birthday party, which is a little more chaotic than I thought. So apologies. Here I am, better late than never. Let's dive right into it. Guys, we covered a lot of stuff during this leading up to this bye. Giants played Monday Night Football. Sad game. Had to cover that. And then come Wednesday, Thursday, we just talked about our offense and the defenses and where they stand in this day. So we didn't have time to go over our picks. So here I am. But in that meantime, the Giants took the liberty to go ahead and release and fire their defensive line coach, Brian Cox. So there's that. Yes, I apologize to everyone out there that I'm late. Accountability, yes, I get it. Drew and Rob Carter, ha ha ha. Nice guys. There was a little traffic there. I apologize. I was in the Bay Head area, and I don't live there. Sorry, Jay. No vest today. I was in and out of places I didn't need a vest. But let's go over. Nice. Let's go ahead and go over as I was hanging out with the 4-year-olds. What happened last week? Drew winning. He briefly went over that Thursday. He wanted to beat me by 7 points. So he went up 1 on the regular picks. So straight up wins. It was 11 to my 10. He got 9 of the spread picks. I got 8. With the over-under, Drew got 9. I got 7. And where he smashed me was the trifectas. He got 5 to my 2. Leaving Drew with 34 points to my 27, which puts him up 7 on the year. So see where we're going back there. So going into Thursday Night Football, guys, we all were there, so we know what happened. Cowboys got their butts handed to them, say the least. Terrible game for the Cowboys, which is a fan of, it's Giants fans, fantastic, but not so much for my picks. Going on for the 1 o'clock game starting tomorrow. A real turd bowl, if you will. You got the Titans going into Cleveland playing the Browns. And the Browns in this episode, in this game, are the favorites for the first time almost all year. With 4.5 points, with the over-under at the lowest of the week at 33.5 points. So this is crazy. Drew and I pretty much are hands down together on this. Drew picked the Browns, so did I. I picked the Titans though in the spread. Drew did not, and we both picked the under because this is one of those games that's just going to be back and forth. I think it's going to be a very defensive game. I just put my my money on Myles Garrett and the ability to stop the ball on the Cleveland side. I don't think any offense shows up, and the Titans have a record of 1-11 compared to the Browns' record of 3-9. So it's hard to talk. You got a strong offenses on both sides. You had 3 different QBs for Cleveland this year. You have one for Titans and Ward, who's been wishy-washy. He had a great week last week, but it's it's a hard game to follow. So there's not much more I can say about this. I'm just going to go. We pretty much all agree the Browns are a slightly better team. Up next, you got the Seahawks. This is a battle of the dirty birds, if you will. You got the Seahawks going into Atlanta playing the Falcons. The Seahawks are 7-point favorites on the road. So if this was home, they'd be 10-point favorites. And the over-under in this game is at a 43.5 points. And if you watch the Seahawks this year, it's been a really good offense for them. And they put up almost that many points themselves for most of these games. But Atlanta has an up and down defense. So it's going to be hard to say who could do what there. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. But the Seahawks are by far a top 5 team in this league compared to a bottom 5 in Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't have Penix Jr. for the rest of the year. Drake London is not playing. And you got Sam Darnold playing a lot better. So Drew and I both agree on this. Seahawks. We both picked the Seahawks to cover the spread. He goes with the under on this. I just think it's a get-right game for Sam Darnold and just that whole all-around Seahawks team. And they're going to put up almost 40 points themselves. And I do trust Atlanta to put up 10 or 14. So as Jacobs is saying, the Falcons are flaky. Yes, they are, but they're also birds, so they have a little more feathers than flakes. Up next, you got the Colts going into Jaguars, going into Jacksonville. This should be a great game, guys. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's pretty much this goes back to who could actually win the AFC South. Yes, the Colts are on top, but they've also fallen. They've not looked good in this past month. As the Jaguars turned around, Jaguars started off hot. They were 5-1. They went like 1-4, and then they've been running it nonstop. And I see Deb in the comments, and Drew and I both agree. We take the Jags in this one. We both take the Jags that cover that 1.5. But the Colts are favorite coming in. And this over-under in this game is at 47.5 points. I'm taking the under. The Colts have a good defense, but they're beat up and they're not playing well right now. Yes, you got JT that's been playing as the best running back in the league, but the Jaguars defense right out is better than the Colts defense. And we all know what DJ does when he gets a lot of pressure up front. He folds. I don't think they get smacked AC, but I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be one of those games towards the end where they're going to be throwing it back and forth. So, yeah, fun game. Since we don't got a game this week, that might be the game I watch. As Jay comes in, am I going to cover tonight's UFC? No, I got a work Christmas party to go to, so I'm not going to be having any fun tonight. Womp womp. I'm the DD today. You get the drive for the kid and the wifey. Up next, you got the Commanders playing the Vikings. This, if you looked at end of last year, would have been a great game. And then you look at what happened a month into this, to the season. You're probably thinking Commanders hands down. 2 months into the season, you don't know where to go with this. A lot of people don't know. They're going to go back and forth in this. They're giving the Vikings 2.5-point favorites because they got JJ McCarthy back. And the over on this game is at 42.5 points. It's one of these games where you're not sure what's going to happen. Mariota looked pretty well playing in QB last week, but can he keep that going? It's hard to say. Both these teams are struggling to win games. You got the Commanders at 3-9 and the Vikings at 4-8. It's a struggling. Both these teams are struggling to just perform. But yeah, you got to give the edge to the Vikings defense. Mariota is probably behind Whitson as being the best backup in this league. He's very serviceable. You put him in here and there. He's not going to embarrass your team, but he's not your answer. And he's playing against a very tough Vikings defense, which is getting a little healthy. and they're going to get after him in the front. And that's where I put the money on this game, is that Vikings defense. So, yeah, Drew and I different in this game handily. We both took the under, but Drew's taking the Commanders to win this game. I am not. I just don't think Mariota had his time to shine in multiple different spots, and it didn't work. And I don't think it's going to continue to work. You got the Commanders' defense, in my opinion, it's not the bottom half of the league, probably bottom third of the league right now. It's going to be a defensive game. It should be fun, but I don't think it's going to be as fun as people thought as was at the end of last season. Up next, which could be what seems like a playoff, Jamarcus McCarthy. Fantastic, Jay. And McCarthy, I do think, is a bust. I'm not saying he's great. I just think the offense is slightly better. It's going to be more methodical. It's going to be a very slow pace game. And listen, it's better than starting Rudolph. He was garbage for me in the 2 QB league. My God. I had to pick up Cam Ward, who's terrible. As Jerry says, I was interested in drafting McCarthy. Wow, dodged both that one. Yeah, Drew and I said that. He made it through college as a QB that was really good at handing it off to his running back and just throwing here and there and some dump passes. We saw that. It doesn't work in the NFL. But like I said, up next is another game that a year ago everyone would be ecstatic for. Right now, both these teams are struggling. It's a very important game for both these teams. You got the Bengals going to Buffalo. The Bills are favored by 5.5 points in this game. Meanwhile, you still got Josh Burrow coming back and playing this week. So you can't count them out when that's the case. The over-under is 53.5 points, which typically screams, hey, take the under, because this is one of the highest. Well, it is the highest over-under of the week. Yeah, Drew and I both took the over in this game. It should be a fun game to watch because I do think Buffalo's defense has stepped up the past couple weeks. I don't think it's enough because right now that Bengals team has been on. They played very well last week. We're coming out with Burrow coming out, and have looked very good. And yeah, it's hard to say. Last week, the running back for Buffalo, Cook, looked pretty darn good. It's just a tougher place to play in Buffalo. So I'm taking the Bills in this game. But this is too close of a game to call. I think it's going to be a shootout to the very end or even in overtime. I wouldn't be surprised whoever wins this game is by 1, maybe 3 points. But, yeah, give me the over on this game all day long. It is should be fun. And this is a very important game for the Bengals. Let's not fool anyone here. They can still win that division. That division has lost a lot of they lost a lot literally, but they also lost a lot of players and talents all around of the 4 teams up there. So with the Ravens, you would think they would be playing a lot better. Granted, they beat the Steelers, who started off red hot and it just gone ice cold. So talk about a game that shouldn't get crazy or off the hinge, if you will. The Saints go into Tampa Bay playing them Bucks, and those Buccaneers are favored by 8.5 points. And the over-under in this game is 42.5 points, which you got the NFC South game. It's going to be hard to guess what's going on here. Both these guys play each other tough, year in, year out, game in, game out. The Buccaneers have fallen off from the start of the year. They started off sneaky hot, one of the best teams in the league, and now they have just done a spiral dive. They've been beat up through the midseason. Yes, they got their running back. Yes, they got Godwin back, but are they fully healthy? Because they haven't seemed fully healthy. And it's been questionable. The Saints, by the way, they start their second quarterback, Shuck, who's played good, not great, not, I wouldn't say terrible. I wouldn't say he's the best, if you will. But he's not playing elite football, to say the least. The Buccaneers are just a better team at the end of the day. So you got to take the Bucs to win this game. But Drew's taken the Bucs to cover that 8.5 points. I think for a divisional game, this is too rich for my blood. Give me the Saints to play a close game. And both of us took the under. It's an easier read to get off of. As the next game, talk about what I was saying before, the Steelers and the Ravens, which both these teams are 6-6, very important for this division, which goes back to what I was talking about before, which your Bengals at 4-8. Very close game. This game ends in a tie and it could mean a lot for that division. But the Ravens are favored by 6 points in this game, with that over-under at 42.5 points. This game, this was a hard game for me to figure out, because sometimes these games, these teams play each other very tough and they go way over, and sometimes they go way under. And let's get into the tape with the quarterbacks, right? Lamar Jackson has dealt with an ankle injury. He had his hammy hurt a little bit early in the season, and they haven't played the same since. Aaron Rodgers hurt his wrist. He's supposed to be coming back, but he's playing like an old man that lost his patience, and he's inconsistent when he's out there. So it's a tough read on this one. The Steelers' offense has been like sputtering all year long, and they've been in and out. And Ravens' passing game has been lackadaisy, but this really features Mark Andrews in the red zone a lot. And yeah, it's a really tough game to figure out with this one, but I'm taking the Ravens to win this game. So is Drew, but 6 points favorites in this game is too much for me. It's going to be a close game. Give me the Steelers. Drew said the same. And with that 42.5 points, it begs you to go over. I don't think it goes over. Drew says otherwise. I'm taking the under this game. I don't think it gets too loose. Yep. Up next, you got the Dolphins playing the Jets. Now, the Jets have played some good football as of late, but the Dolphins have played better football. The Dolphins are favored 2.5 points on the road. And the over-under in this game is at 41.5 points. These teams either play each other real hot or real cold, and I think it's a cold setting game. Because guess what? It's in the Tri-State area. It's in MetLife. It's going to be a little cold this weekend. I'm taking the Jets to win this game. That 2.5 points, I'm taking the Jets as well. And so is Drew on this. We actually went for a full trifecta going towards the under. You could say the Fins have played great football in the past month. They have. The last 5 games, they've played very well, very good football. The Jets' past 4 games have played good football. You know what happens every time the Dolphins come up north and an AFC battle this time of year? They lose. They just don't play good football in the cold. And if you stepped outside yesterday, you know it is cold. Give me the Jets for that reason. And that's pretty much my sole reason on this. All right, guys. I see you guys have been going crazy in the comments. I'm going to get through those comments. But first, I'm just going to get through some of these bills here. Then I'll be right back and go over your comments. And then we'll go over the 4 o'clock games and the spotlight games.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
All right. I know you guys were beating me up in the comments to see how bad you guys were because, yeah, it's pretty rough. All right. When I came on late, Drew said, can't beat traffic today. It was the 4-year-olds. I apologize. As Jay comes in and says, accountability. Deb says, hi, Jay. Hi, Jay. The Drew and Rob Carter show. Yes, Pat Leonard should light these guys up. AC in there. Yo, 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 yo. I appreciate all you guys. Deb, hi, AC. Boo. Well, that explains it because there I am. Where Drew? Who is this guy? Drew has to work today. Womp. I was dealing with family stuff. Damn, Jay. They didn't even let the guy get a word in yet. Thanks, AC. No vest, I'm out. Well, that's sly. I think he puts 12 years before coming on these shows. So cool, man. Kicking it in Airbnb. Yep. Maybe Roberto held Drew accountable. Maybe. Or maybe he's at work. Deb comes in saying, the Browns. Yep. They're not a great team, but they're the better team because they're playing the worst team. Yeah, I think that defense is nasty, even more so at home. At the end of the day, you're not wrong. 100% you're right. I want the Browns to win, too, because that means we aren't the worst team in the league. Titans win, and we are. That's a very sad truth. But there's still time. We can still be the worst team. It's the battle of the bad QBs. It really is. If the Browns can get a QB, that team would be legit. Yeah, they just don't know how to draft a quarterback. They spent, 25 picks at QB or 30 picks at QB the past 25 drafts? Yeah. Deb comes in, Seahawks all the way. Absolutely. Deb needs to a pick show, I think. You know what, Deb? We should talk offline. Maybe we should have you on one time and get your picks in 1 week. Talk to Drew about that. As the Falcons are so flaky. They are. They're wishy-washy. Even when they're fully healthy, they'll come 1 week, beat up a good team, come in against a bad team, and just look ass. It's, yeah, terrible. The Volvo. Jaguars will take it. I think so. Jags defense is good. They're better than good. They were the top defense for the first half of the year. They've fallen off a little bit, but there was injuries, and they got some people back. So expect a really good defensive game than that. This is going to be a fun one. I think so. The Colts are going to get smacked from AC. Yeah. Are you going to cover tonight's UFC, Robzilla? Like I said, I'll be driving all over Central South Jersey tonight. Danny Jones is going to dominate. Danny Dimes. Yep, that's your Colts team for you. DJ might not make it through the game. Yeah, the pass rush is pretty solid over with the Jags. Vacuum store can survive without you. Come on. We're plus on Saturdays. Come on. Jones was good last week considering he was playing the Texans. Yeah, it's a very tough defense too. Actually, going right back on it, Texans defense might be one of the best in the league. Just the flight underrated because that offense is one of the worst. I think Texas are going to do some damage this year. They've flew under the radar and got back to 6-6. So kudos to them. Dev says, I'm going to go with the Commanders. McCarthy's a bust. Jamarcus McCarthy. I love that comment. Vikings are like the Colts last year, a league average QB play, and they would contend. They've taken bad QB play and brought them in the past couple of years and made them look good and serviceable and retaught them. So maybe it's just more of a J.J. McCarthy thing. That guy is a rookie, quote unquote, hurt his knee last year, couldn't play all year, and then he comes in this year and everyone's expected to be this great, guru football guy. And I don't think it's there. And who knows, maybe he developed an average quarterback, but he left the game last week, 2 weeks ago, with a knee injury when didn't look so bad. I don't think he has what it takes. It's like he might be a good backup somewhere. Don't say that. Don't say that, Rob. I need to start a Mariota and 2 QB. Yeah, we got to that one. I was interested in drafting McCarthy. We dodged pulling that one. Look at Rob going from number 2 guy, getting the start. Not today. Put in good work, dude. I appreciate you. I go with Buffalo. Says Deb. That game will go wild as fuck. Ooh, I said that. YouTube, don't demonetize us. That's weird. Season no real standout favorites to win either conference. It's been, I was looking, I think since 2011, there's no clear number 1 seed on either side. It's been some really good football. So I'm excited to see that. As Deb asked, what does AF mean? Yep. You got it, Deb. Yes, I'm talking about like someone half my age. It's very cringe. Rob won't read that comment. I'm not sure which one. I read them all. Dirty Deb. Man, I'm not that old, guys. It's messed up. I've been called worse. As Jay's looking over. I think the Saints. Yeah. QB plays a little better over there. I don't take them to win. Bucks are kind of flattering. I thought they would be better. They started off better. They got beat up a lot, and they kind of floundered around there. They got some guys back. I don't think they're fully healthy, but they need guys in to win. The Bucks win. I don't think they cover. It's going to be a closer game. It's a divisional game, but you're in Tampa. Drew's going to go crazy tomorrow as Deb comes and saying Bucks. Of course, they will win. Sorry for Daddy J. I just think Saints. I took them to cover, and it has to be ridiculous. Steelers are more cooked than the drum hair. Drew's hair. That's fantastic. I'll go with the Ravens. Yeah, they seem like they're getting it back together. They're like getting the band back together as, the Steelers are looking like they're falling apart. This is way over for the Steelers. Old team fading hard. You gave me talent. Amen. On a side note, I think Steelers keep Tomlin. I wouldn't be surprised, but the fans were also chanting "fire him" last week. At least they didn't egg his house. Lamar isn't the same. Miles getting high. He's also coming back off an injury, and they've changed his game this year to stand in the pocket a little bit more. He still could run it. The Miles getting high, I think maybe. I think he's still too young for that still. No any luck. Will be no exciting coaches available. Yeah. Deb comes in saying Finn's been fire. Talking about the Finn's Jets game. I'm leaning towards Sheila lately. Wouldn't be wrong. It feels risky, Deb. Kind of think he's a favorite for a lot of reasons. We've had terrible luck with a first-time head seats. And, Jay, that's a comment. That's 100% right. We've been a little too risky, and look what's happened. We've taken a lot of chances. Drew and I have talked about this past couple weeks. That's why, I'm not a fan of McCarthy, but, bring him in just to bring back a system, stability. Make sure this team could actually function as a team. And then go from there. As Jay insinuates that I hit that a little out there for shotgun and beer. Thanks, dude. Wonder if Shala work with Kafka. I can't. Yeah. I'm gonna see Kafka staying. He's if he doesn't get the head seat job. Yeah, I think Kafka's out, hands down. Can't wait if we get to stare down between Shala and Mara taking keeping Shane's a dumbass. Yeah, I say that's right. I wouldn't stay if I were him. It seems like they wanted him to leave before, says Jay. And you're not wrong. But they also blocked him from going to the Seahawks as just a lateral movement, just taking an OC job over there. And that's why we get an assistant head coach job. So we blocked him to stay. She would only go this show, not the other dude. You guys are ridiculous. Jim Beards has served you guys. All right, guys. We're going back to the show. No doubt body shaming. It's okay. Come on the show. That's what Jay does. He's a jerk. Just kidding, dude. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Anyway, let's go back into it, guys. As Jay's beating me up. We got the Broncos at 4 o'clock going into Vegas playing the Raiders. The Broncos on the road favored by 7.5 points. And a very important game for the Broncos because pretty much when they seal in that division, which is the first time that the Kansas City Chiefs will not win that division in like 5-6 years, which is absurd. The over-under in this game is 40.5 points. It's a no-brainer on this one. The Broncos are a way better team. You talk about Flounder and like just a dead fish with the Raiders. They come in week 1, they beat the Patriots. Sneaky Pete looks like he might be on something, and woof, he has sucked it off since. 7.5 points. Drew and I both agree. Take the Broncos. This one's easy. And it's amazing. If you watch both these teams, you're week in, week out. The Raiders come in playing strong, if you will, but they always turn to a bust in the second half. The Broncos come in and they come in a little soft, and then it's the second half into the fourth quarter, especially Bo Nix turns it up big time. So, yeah, Broncos in the spread. Drew's taking the under in this game. I'm taking the over because I don't think they let off the gas. I think the Broncos are going to score close to 30, and I do think there'll be 2 scores from the Raiders. So give me the over. Coming up next, 425. You got the Cardinals hosting the Rams. The Rams on the road are favored 7.5 points with this over-under at 47.5. Yeah. This is another no-brainer. I'm surprised Dev hasn't put it out there yet. Give me the Rams. Yes, it's a divisional game, but the Rams have been playing the best football right now, I think, in the league. Drew took the Rams as well. We both took the Rams in that spread because, yes, the Cardinals have played good teams fairly well, especially towards the end, and have covered some of these games. I'm picking the Rams in the spread there, and so is Drew. I think the Rams, since they lost to the Panthers in their last game, are going to come here in a get-right game, and they're going to pick on the little brother in this game. Drew's taking the under. I just think Matt Stafford's just going to light up this game. Up next, you got the Bears, who's the best in the NFC North. The Bears going to play the Packers in Lambeau Field. And this is a true testament to the Bears team. They have to play the Green Bay Packers twice in this season coming up. I just think it's hard for any team to go into Lambeau and play the Packers, especially the Bears. Especially after the past 2 to 3 decades, the Bears have significantly been terrible in Lambeau Field. And I'm not going to say what Dev just said out there, but the Packers are going to win. Drew went with the Packers as well. 6.5 points, though, the way both these teams have been playing. Yes, when Jordan Love is on, he's on fire, but it's wishy-washy. And this Bears defense has been great at turnovers. I do think it's going to be a closer game. I'm taking the Bears in the spread. So is Drew. And we actually went for the full trifecta because I do think this guy's going to get a little loose. It's going to get a little saucy out there. It's going to be a lot of points put up there. As the missus is going to go out and just take a video clip of that and say that all day. All right, let's go into Sunday Night Football. Sunday night. Yeah, Drew, you got all these games wrong. All right, Sunday Night Football. You got the Chiefs hosting the Texans. And a game that's more significant for both these teams, I think a lot of people realize. Both these teams, if they lose, their chance in the playoffs go down lower than 17%. But both these teams, like when these teams win, it's like both the shots go up by 50% to go into there. There's an absolutely crazy like turn of events of what can happen in these two games. The Texans right now, which is crazy to say, is the better team on paper. They're 7-5 compared to the Chiefs 6-6. And if you want to say who's a better quarterback, Mahomes or Stroud, like yes, Mahomes is definitely the better quarterback. But you know, Stroud's been playing pretty well, even Mills with that team. Both these quarterbacks are going to start though with CJ Stroud and Patrick Mahomes. It's this team pretty much whoever loses is not making it to the playoffs. As Drew takes the Texans to win this game, I take the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the team that has proven to get to the playoffs and not choke in these big spotlight games. I think they have a better head coach. They have the better quarterback. Although the Texans have the better defense. Like I said earlier in the program, I think that Houston's defense is probably the best. Definitely top 3. Over under in this game is the only thing that Drew and I agree on. We both picked the under with that over under at 41.5 points. All right, the final game. And you guys are done with me. You're done beating me up. All right. We got Monday Night Football. This one hurt Drew and I to pick, but you have the Chargers hosting the Eagles. The Eagles are 3-point favorites on the road, which sadly, I don't know. For some reason, it won't let me dip. Over on this game is at 40.5 points. Drew and I both, sadly, took the Eagles, but they're the better team. They're a healthier team. They both sit at 8-4, and the Chargers need this game more than the Eagles, but the Chargers are also beat up. And Herbert's going to go in there to play, and it's just, yeah, it's a little too much. Herbert's hand's going to be like a variable in this game, but I think that offensive line for the Chargers is going to be a bigger game in this. I also think there might be a little bit uptick in the Eagles offense because of what happened last week. Talk about egg on your face or egg on your house. So I do think the Eagles will play a lot better football when they're playing a beat up defense. So Drew and I agree on everything. Eagles to win, Eagles to cover. The only thing we didn't agree on is both these teams play really good defense. I do think the Eagles will dominate in a lower scoring game as Drew won with the over. As I have to give a shout out to Deb. Thank you, Deb. Thanks. Kudos. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. That pretty much wraps up the night, guys. We're on the bye, so no coverage tomorrow. So we'll be back Monday night, 9 o'clock, and we'll start our normal schedule for week 15. We're going to review week 14 and do what we do. You should be back. I might be on time. We'll find out as Jay comes in with 501. I feel like this is the Price is Right. And as he comes in saying, thank you, Roberto. I appreciate that. Guys, what can I say? I appreciate y'all. You guys know where to find us. We're on all your podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Radio, iHeartRadio, Drew's Grindr account. It doesn't matter. You can find us anywhere. We're also going live Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 9 o'clock and after the game on your Facebook, your YouTube, Twitch, X, and of course, Drew's like there for a while. Guys, I really appreciate you guys all for coming on, and have a good night, have a good weekend, and go J-Man! 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 J-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please,